students. So today we are going to do a question from share capital in which there are two complexities. One is that one of the shareholders, he has paid in full with allotment money. So when the allotment has been made to him, he has paid all the money. And second is the problem which we have been doing in our previous sums, that there is a holder of 500 shares who has failed to pay the first call and his share have been forfeited. So let's start the question. There's a company, it has issued 25,000 equity shares of 10 each as follows. Application money 2.5, allotment money 5 rupee, including premium. On first call again 2.5 and on second call again 2.5. So each and every call is of 2.5 and 2.5 rupee further is a premium. So making it a total of 12.5 rupee issue price, which includes 10 rupee face value and 2.5 rupee premium. The applications and allotment monies were received, so there is no pro rata allotment. 25,000 had applied and 25,000 have been issued. However, the holders of 10,000 shares, so out of 25,000 shares, 10,000 shares के ऊपर, they have paid full with allotment money. So at the time of allotment itself, we have received full payment till final call for the 10,000 shares. Second is, holders of 500 shares failed to pay the first call and their shares were forfeited after due notice. So 500 shares के ऊपर default है for first call and they have been forfeited. The forfeited shares were reissued at rupees 6 per share. So forfeited shares have been reissued at rupees 6 per share, credited with 7.5 paid, which means 2 शेयर कैपिटल आएगा 7.5 से, वेयर एज जो पैसा रिसीव होगा वो 6 रुपए रिसीव होगा, विच मीन्स अगर हम कैपिटल 7.5 से क्रेडिट कर रहे हैं, बैंक 6 रुपए से डेबिट कर रहे हैं, तो दिस मीन्स इट इज इशूड एट डिस्काउंट 1.5 विच वी विल टेक फ्रॉम शेयर forfeiture. Yes. The new shareholders paid for the shares in full. This is the third complexity in the question. All the shares which were reissued, 500 shares, they were reissued and we had asked them to pay 6 rupee, but they have also paid share final call of rupee 2.5 as well at the time of reissue. The second call was duly paid by all other shareholders. So let's start with the journal entries of this question. So the journal entries will go like this. First, bank account debited to equity share application. So 25,000 shares have been issued. 25,000 into 2.5 comes out to be 62,500. These share application account has been now converted into equity share capital account. So equity share application account debited to equity share capital account with rupees 62,500. How this 62,500 has come? 25,000 shares हैं, उसके ऊपर share application money है 2.5, so making it 62,500. Next, share allotment money due. Equity share allotment account debited 25,000 shares 5 rupee, which includes two things. One is face value of rupee 2.5 and second is securities premium of 2.5, so 1,25,000. To equity share capital account 25,000 into 2.5. To securities premium reserve 25,000 into 2.5, so this is the entry. Next, now the allotment money received. So for this I have written working note 1. So let's go to the working note. So this is the working note for allotment money received. There were 25,000 shares and we were to receive 5 rupee on this share. So the amount which is due, is 25,000 into 5, which comes out to be 1,25,000. However, we have already received something which is called as calls in advance. We have already received something at the time of allotment itself. There is no default on allotment money, my dear students. Please mind it. There is no default at the time of allotment in the question. The only thing which we have been told is calls in advance at the time of allotment. So first call we have already received at the time of allotment is on 10,000 shares 2.5 rupee. We have also received second call itself at the time of allotment 10,000 shares 2.5 rupee. So this is 1,75,000 rupee which we have received. So accordingly our entry becomes like this. Bank account debited. How much we have received in total is 1,75,000. However, this 1,75,000 comprises of three things. One is allotment money, second is first call, and third is second call. Okay, so share allotment money on all 25,000 shares 5 rupee we have received, because I have already told you there is no default. So 25,000 shares rupee 5, 1,25,000. 10,000 shares के ऊपर we have received 2.5. So this is equity share first call received. 2 equity shares second calls. So the entry becomes bank account debited 1,75,000. 2 equity share allotment 1,25,000. 2 equity share first call 25,000. 2 equity share second call 25,000. One thing I would like to tell you here, that instead of writing here 2 equity share first call or 2 equity share second call, you can simply also write 2 calls in advance. However, in subsequent question later on, you will also use the same terminology. I hope you know that there are two methodology which we have already been discussed, that either you can go with calls in advance method, or you can even ignore calls in advance and you can straight away write 2 equity share first call and 2 equity share final call. Okay. Second is now equity share first call due. So equity share first call, mind it, due is on all the shares. We will make first of all due for all the shares irrespective of the fact that we have received it 10,000 in advance. This thing we will incorporate when we'll make the entry of first call received. Now we are making the entry for first call due. So first call due 25,000 full shares at the rate of 2.5. Okay. Now the question arises, so how much will be the first call received? Mind it. Now two things are there. In this particular entry, there are two things. One is calls in advance. Second is calls in arrears. On 10,000 shares, you have received the money in advance. Whereas on 500 shares, you have not received the money. That is calls in arrears. So I have written working note 2. So let's go to working note 2. So it's on working note 2. Amount received on first call. Amount due on first calls is all 25,000 shares at the rate of 2.5, which comes out to be 62500 minus calls in advance. 10,000 shares के ऊपर 2.5 रुपए हम already receive कर चुके हैं. That is 25,000. Whereas there is some default, which is calls in arrears. So calls in arrears 500 shares के ऊपर है 2.5 रुपए के हिसाब से, which comes out to be 1250. So thereby are making total of 36250, which is the amount received on first call. Bank to equity share first call 36250. Okay. Now we had seen in the question itself that after share first call, these shares were forfeited. These 500 shares were forfeited. So let's make the entry for forfeiture. Equity share capital account debited with called up amount. We have received till first call. So first call includes three things: 2.5 share application, 2.5 share allotment, 2.5 first call, making it 7.5. So 500 into 7.5, 3750, equity share capital 3750. 2 equity share first call, which is the amount of default. We have already discussed the amount of default was 1250. So 2 equity share first call 1250, and last the balancing amount will go into share forfeiture account 2500. Then in the question we have seen that immediately after the reissue, before making the second call, these shares were reissued. Immediately after the cancellation, the shares were reissued. So let's make the entry for reissue now. The entry is bank account debited. So how much money we have received? Let's see. First of all, we had asked them to pay ₹6. So 500 के ऊपर 500 shares के ऊपर 6 रुपए हमें आए. दूसरा, इन शेयर होल्डर्स ने एंड तक मीन्स सेकेंड कॉल भी पे कर दी साथ ही in advance. So we have received total 8.5 on 500 share. So either you can directly do 500 into 8.5 or 500 into 6 plus 500 into 2.5, which comes out to be 4250. After that, 2 equity share capital. So we have done till 4250. Okay. 2 equity share capital. There was the thing written in the question. They have been called ₹6, issued for ₹6, credited as 7.5. So credited at 7.5 means 2 equity share capital में 7.5 ही डालना है. So 500 into 7.5, 3750. but they have also paid equity share second call. So I've written here 2 equity share second call. So 500 into 2.5, 1250. Rest of the amount, that is this 1.5. How this 1.5 has come? Please ponder on this. Yes, you are right. The answer is 7.5 has been credited, but they had been asked to pay 6. So the difference between 7.5 and 6 comes 1.5. So 500 into 1.5 comes out to be 750. So this is our entry for share reissue. Next. Now, if all the shares have been reissued, I have already told you, if all the shares which are forfeited and they are reissued, the whole of the amount minus the amount which is used for reissue. Let's see the previous entry. In the previous entry, we have used 2 share forfeiture with for rupees 750 and total share forfeiture was 2500. So 2500 minus 750, this will go into capital reserve. Next is share final call due. Now again, have we got 24,500 shares or 2,500 share? Yes, the answer is 2,500 shares. Why? 25,000 shares. Why? Because out of 25,000 shares, 500 shares were definitely cancelled. However, they have been reissued again. So 25,000 shares into 2.5 उसके ऊपर कॉल करना था हमें, तो ये हमारी ड्यू की एंट्री हो गई. However, अब हमें रिसीव कितना हुआ? So माइंड इट, यहाँ पर हमारे पास कोई डिफॉल्ट तो नहीं है, लेकिन 2 कॉल्स इन एरियर जरूर हैं. So let's see the working note 3, and the working note 3 is like this. Amount received on second call. Amount due on second call is 25,000 into 2.5, which is 62,500 minus calls in advance. So 10,000 shares के ऊपर हमें 2.5 रिसीव हो गया है. 500 shares के ऊपर हमें 2.5 रिसीव हो गया है. So this is 36,250. So our last entry becomes 36,250. So you can solve the similar kinds of sums. Thank you so much.